There is one particular passage of Scripture that keeps resonating through my heart and soul this Christmas. And it's not exactly the passage of Scripture that one would expect for this time of year. It's not the story of the gospel that speak of the birth of Jesus, of the travels of Mary and Joseph to Bethlehem, of the machinations of King Herod, of the tiny manger stable where Jesus is born, of shepherds and wise men, and the totality of the Christmas story that carries us through to the great feast of Epiphany. The passage that keeps resonating with me this Christmas, we first hear in the season of Advent, that season of preparation as we get ready for the celebration of Christmas. It comes to us from the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 40. Comfort ye, my people. Speak tenderly unto Jerusalem, and cry unto her, that her warfare is ended, that her iniquity is pardoned, that she has received double for all of her sins. A voice in the wilderness says, cry, and I proclaim, what shall I cry? That's the passage that keeps resonating with me. What do we cry this Christmas to a people that so desperately need to hear a word of comfort? We gather this Christmas together, on a Christmas probably unlike any we have known throughout our lifetime. We are unable to draw our families together from near and far around the Christmas table. We're unable to travel. Things are not the same at all. I mean, everything has changed through the time of COVID-19. And probably more so than since we began this in the first part of the year, the Christmas celebration, there's a poignancy around it being disrupted in the way that it is. And so we draw deeply into the well of our faith, and that's what I am called to do this day. And I think why that passage from Isaiah continues to resonate with me throughout the Advent season and right into the Christmas season, because it is so forward-looking. It speaks to a people that are in anguish, in hardship and difficulty, and speaks to them of a God who promises never to fail them, never to forsake them. That in the times of difficulty, there will come a new day, a new dawn. And that's what we proclaim in the power of the Christmas story. When we gather on Christmas Day and we proclaim that great gospel of the incarnation. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And we proclaim the light that shall never be overcome by the darkness. It's all a message of hope, isn't it, to us? And in the humility of the birth of Christ in that tiny stable, when by the world's standards it would seem to be a mean and poor beginning, we see there in the songs of angels that message of hope written loudly, spoken loudly once more, and written upon our hearts and souls. That's so summed up by that word of the prophet Isaiah. This situation that we are in over these days and weeks and months throughout 2020 has been something that has touched us in hearth and home, all the way up to the relationship between and among nations around the world. But we are called as followers of Jesus Christ, I think even more so now during this Christmas season, to be the ones who bear that message of hope and good news. We need to carry that Advent message of promise and the themes of peace, hope, love, and justice that carry us through to the future that lies before us. We need to carry that message to a world that so desperately needs to hear it. And so this Christmas, I pray that those words of Isaiah are planted firmly in your heart and soul, that you hear them and the beautiful soothing balm of oil that they pour over a hurting and troubled world. Comfort ye, my people. Speak tenderly to Jerusalem and cry unto her that her warfare is ended, that her iniquity is pardoned. The voice in the wilderness says, cry, and I say, what shall I cry? Let us cry this message that resonates with the songs of angels, with the song of Mary who proclaimed the beautiful words of the Magnificat, the song that carries us into the future that lies before us. May you and yours be blessed this Christmas, and may that spirit carry you forward into the certainty and hope of the future that is in the hands of our loving God. Merry Christmas and blessings to you all.